morning. NOPEU, watu wa NOPEU. Tuko na mgeni leo anaitwa Mpuru, Rodgers Mpuru mwenyewe, kijana wa Meru. Yuko hapa kwa chama inaitwa NOPEU. Pale Meru nasikia NOPEU ni kusema utaenda. NOPEU utaenda kabisa. Karibu sana mdosi, habari leo?
Shukran bro.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Habari ya Meru?
Great.
Karibisha mic yako kidogo.
Shukran.
Watu wa Meru wanasemaje?
Meru wanasema NOPEU.
NOPEU, nani anaenda?
NOPEU is ni jina iko na deep meaning in Meru. If you tell someone NOPEU, it means no matter what.
Utakwenda.
Utaenda.
Upende usipende.
That is the last thing before panga. Yes.
Unapanga tena Meru?
After. Ukikosa kusikiza NOPEU,
unakula panga. So tuambie wewe ni nani pale NOPEU, na NOPEU ni nini haswa? Najua umetuambia NOPEU ni kwenda. Sasa tuambie NOPEU pia nasikia ni chama. Sasa tuambie Mpuru wewe ni nani, alafu chama ni kipi?
Kwa majina anaitwa Rodgers Mpuru. And mimi ni Secretary General wa chama inaitwa NOPEU. NOPEU kwa urefu ni National Ordinary People's Empowerment Union. This is a political party, a registered political party. We are party number 52. That is party number 53, I think, is TSP, the Blue Band Party.
The Blue Band Party.
Yes.
Yeah. Kunjuri akipatana na yeye.
Now, we are a fully registered party with offices all over the country. Na mimi ni SG wa chama.
Secretary General.
Yes.
Wale watu wa kelele kina Tuju na kina wewe sasa.
SG si wa kelele, SG ni wa kuongea kwa niaba ya chama.
Nasikianga mnavunjanga chama pia. Nimesikia kuna nyingine ilikunjwa huko juzi.
Gani
nasikia ilikorogwa na SG. Sasa nyinyi ndio mnakulanga chama.
SG anaongea kwa niaba ya chama. Ile kitu unajua chama iko na National Executive Council. Ile kitu wakikaa mkutano waseme, wanaambia SG ya toe ile message. Kwa hivyo SG hawezi toa message ambayo iko kivyake.
So NOPEU umesema National Ordinary People's Union. Headquarters iko wapi?
Headquarters iko hapa Nairobi. Tuko na ofisi 25.
25 offices.
Before you become a full registered party, you need to have half of the counties. You need to have offices in half of the counties. Na hiyo ni kitu ambacho tumetimiza. Lakini headquarters yetu iko hapa.
Headquarters iko Nairobi.
Yes, because this is a national party. Sio chama ya Wameru. Sio chama ya Mount Kenya. Hii ni chama kama vile ODM wa Jubilee.
Chama imeanza lini?
Chama imeanza, we started registering last year, lakini full registration tumepata mwaka huu.
Wow. Na tayari mnaambia watu wakwende?
Tayari tuko na candidates. Wacha hata kwa kwende. We have candidates.
Mko na candidates wapi?
We have candidates kawa wendani. Tuko na Jaluo
by election pale.
Anaitwa Gori, by election ya Kiambu County. Niko na candidate Muranga, Gaturi Ward. Niko na candidate Lakeview Ward. That is Nakuru County for members of county assembly. Nakuru inapigwa Tuesday next week. Na nitapata kiti moja ama mbili kati hizo.
Tayari umeshatafuta kitu, umeshajua kuna kiti.
Nitapata. Yes.
Alright. Ni wapi kwingine mko na candidates? Yaani hukume maanzisha mwaka mmoja uliopita.
Nilikuwa na candidates Msambweni. Lakini ni kama aliweka mdomo mbele ya maendeleo.
Alitanguliza mdomo kabla ya maendeleo.
Aliweka mdomo mbele ya maendeleo. Akaitwa huko kunaitwa Hustlers Mansion.
Wewe jamaa Hustlers Mansion alikuwa candidate wa NOPEU.
Alikuwa candidate wangu na alikuwa namba 2 wa Jubilee last general election. He is a senior member in NAT. Unajua walimu wanakura. Na nikamwambia atapata kiti. Sababu alikuwa namba 2 wa ODM. Lakini ile aliitwa pale Hustlers Mansion. Akitoka kule alikuwa anasema NOPEU. Akirudi history kaisha.
Akasema NOPEU ndio NOPEU. NOPEU iende sasa.
NOPEU sasa iende. Sasa unajua mimi atungeshindana
kipe. Uko amupeane float huko NOPEU.
Float ni lazima.
Hata pakeva na siasa ni busy.
Float ni lazima. Lakini sasa unajua pia float ni ya raia. Lakini ukiweka mdomo mbele ya maendeleo, hiyo sio ideology ya chama. Hapana.
Ideology ya chama ni gani? What do you guys intend to achieve?
You know, NOPEU came in at this moment whereby watu wengi wanalia viongozi wao. Unaelewa vipi? Na sisi tukakaa chini kama a group of people with like-minded people, tukaona ni vizuri tukue na chama ambacho kinaingiza wale watu ordinary. Okay? Iko the ordinary mwananchi. You know, there is the social democracy in it.
Yes.
Whereby we want the communication ya watu isikuwe inatoka kwa pale juu kwa viongozi. Hawa watu wa chini hapa wanakaa chini, wao ndio wanajua shida zao, wanasema kule juu. That is the mode of communication that we need in our party. It is very simple. Yes.
Alright. Wacha tuende kwa shughuli ya leo. Nimeona kuna, I don't know about comments. Muchendu, we lost a doctor the other day. A 28-year-old doctor.
Yes.
We lost to COVID-19. Na by the time alikuwa anakufa hakumpata mshahara kwa miezi 5. Na niliona kuna majamaa wanafanya upumbavu na maisha, wanakuja wanatengeneza fake payslip. Nimeona pia watu wanasema other people are dying, why should we worry when we lose one doctor? What are your thoughts on the fact that we are losing doctors to government who has refused to give them PPs?
I think it is an assertment that this government of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta continues to have its priorities upside down. There is no way. I saw, is it Sospita Ojamo? A governor elected by the people to represent the interests of the people. He has the audacity of telling people that they should wait, Daktari, they should wait for BBI to pass and then we can think about them. What an idiotic statement from an elected governor, that you're telling the medics to wait. You know, I've always insisted, I have no problem with the changing of the constitution, because constitution is always a progressive document that can always be amended if it's gonna help in our administration, if it's gonna help in distribution of resources, if it's not, it's going to help on the service delivery. So, you know, changing the constitution is not something I have. But my problem is basically that you cannot put the changing of a constitution as the most prioritized thing in this government when doctors are dying and we have a pandemic with us. I mean, it's crazy. Today, Bitok, the economy of this nation is about to go down, and that is a fact. It is a fact. Look at the money market. Look at how Kenya shilling is doing. The economy is about to go down. We have a pandemic with us that needs to be taken care of. And in the midst of this, I read that the president is going to take a leave of 30 days. I mean, this is crazy. You have a 28-year-old man. This guy has left a 5-month-old baby without a father. He has dedicated himself. How much, you know, let me tell you, Bitok, it will take about 7 years for him to become a full doctor. Investing time, investing money, investing experience. Then this guy is forced to take care of COVID patient in an isolated facilities without the right things to use. And now he is dead, and he has left a wife and 5-month-old baby who will never have the honor of knowing the dad. And then I see some idiotic people who are paid 527 creating a fake payslip of this doctor claiming that he has been paid his money. It is the most idiotic thing I have seen. It is lack of patriotism from the fellow Kenyans. I mean, you are paid a simple peanuts so that you can tarnish a name of a 28-year-old who is now dead, who did not have the light protective gears, who did not have his salary paid, who has left a major bills in hospital. I mean, what is it? What is it gonna take this government to wake up from the slumber that they are? That our priority must not be BBI. We are not saying that this country should stagnate. We are not saying that we should not change the constitution. But changing of a constitution in the midst of a pandemic and in the midst of an economic crisis should be the least of our worry. Our worry today should to be dealing with this pandemic and to be dealing with economy. Because I'm sad that up to now, I have not seen the National Economic Council coming up to tell us the recovery program of our economy, because our economy is going down, Bitok. It is going down. Every day, our Kenya shillings loses by a shilling. Our, what do you call it? Our interest rate on our external debt extends by 35 billion. Every day you hear that the Kenya shillings has gone down against the dollar by a shilling. You always know that the interest rate on our debt increases with 35 billion. Look at how the Kenya shillings has performed in the last 1 week. And it is telling you, this economy, we are heading to a place that we do not want to find ourselves. I've said here again that today Nigeria finds itself in recession because of the same mistakes that we continue to make. And we are not saying that we expect Uhuru Kenyatta to do magic, a miracle, but we are expecting him as the head of state to offer a solution on the way out. And I say this, we have seen that, it's sad that the International Monetary Fund is the one telling us how to trim the spending. Have you seen, we went and booked a loan of about 1.1 trillion from the International Monetary Fund. And in turn, they told us, we are going to give you the loan. But before we give you, you have to scramble tens and tens of parastatals. You have to cut on spending of this government. There is no way the International Monetary Fund is telling us to cut on spending. The Minister of Finance comes in front of the Treasury building and tells Kenyans to brace for a very tough 2021 year because of the measures they are going to make. They are saying they are going to retrench. They are saying they are going to increase taxes. And here we are telling us we have enough money to do a referendum. 14 billion, it is a stimulant. It is enough money to do a stimulant recovery program with the youths of this country who can bring out this economy from where it is right now. And I have insisted that until this government wakes up and realizing that the small business startups and the medium level companies are the ones that are going to take this economy to the heights, and until they decide to invest on that particular unit of our economy will continue going down. Because look at our debt level. It is sad. It is sad that we have a debt level that we are supposed to pay, but what we have already been given as debt cannot be seen. What has it done for common mwananchi? It's very sad to lose such a young person at this age and time. Shame on the government. Shame on the government of Alfred Mutua. Shame on the government of Uhuru Kenyatta.
Alfred Mutua actually said he has paid all the workers.
He has paid all the workers.
Some is the national government which has not paid.
You see, if he has paid, who is supposed to? Okay, assuming he has paid all his workers and our good doctor was to be paid by the national government, who is supposed to provide the PPEs? Whose isolation is that? It is a county isolation center. He is supposed to provide every doctor in that isolation is complaining.
Right. Mpuru.
Yes, sir.
What are your thoughts on the same thing?
I think we should not really politicize the issue of death of the doctor. Number one, what I'd like to say is I may not have used the public hospital in Machakas, but again, the issue of what comes first, if it is the COVID or BBI, it is way different things, because about the economy that Brother Muchendu is talking about, the economy is crumbling because COVID is all over the world. That we need to appreciate. Number two is the death of this young man is what is happening to any other profession. So we should not be really struggling about the same issue every now.
What are you talking about salary? Someone has not been paying salary for 5 months. PPEs are not available in government hospitals.
Yes,
should we excuse that?
We shouldn't excuse that. We shouldn't really politicize it, because We should
I'm not even
make-
looking at the politics in it. I'm looking at the, at the functional level conversation. Like, you're working.
Yes.
Let's assume you're a frontline worker.
Yes.
The government is supposed to provide you with PPEs.
Yes.
The government is supposed to give you your salary because you're working.
Yes.
Now, these are two things that are amazing. No PPEs, no salary for 5 months.
And that is why we are going back to the economy. That the economy is crumbling because of the same thing that is eating these people. And that is COVID-19. It's all over the world. It's the norm of the day. So politicians...
So,
need to-
in other countries also, they are not being paid salaries and there are no PPEs.
I mean, we don't know about other countries' economies. But again, I yesterday, the day before yesterday, the DP said that the PPEs that are at KEMSA, that are still under investigations, as we investigate them, we can give them to the doctors. Which I think is a noble idea. We should go that way. Because again, if these people down the tools, we are gone as a country. Completely no health, no country. Yes.
So what if they're down the tools? What do you think will happen?
I mean, if they down their tools, then we are colours completely.
Let's assume you're the Minister of Health. What would you do? Would you tell them, no, guys, you need to chill? Because the governor told them, you guys have to wait. Ngojeni tumalize BBI kwanza. Ojamong, aliwaambia jana, wadosi, tulieni kwanza kidogo, tumalize hii BBI, alafu tukirudi tuangalie mambo yenu.
That was it was not the best coming from a governor. But there's a better way to express it. Because BBI is equally as important as the general election. Let me tell you why. If you remember very well, BBI and handshake came after the disputed last general election. And this country, if it wasn't for the handshake and the BBI, it would have gone down to his knees. When everyone was down his knees or her knees, that is when the president and the right honorable prime minister, former prime minister, had the handshake. And I think if we can hold the BBI to wait for COVID, then we can equally wait
For the general election.
for the general election. People are talking about what it's equally important.
General election pia ingoje tumalize maneno ya COVID.
Kama tunangoja BBI tumalize COVID kwanza tuende BBI. Tuseme Uhuru aendelee COVID ishe. I mean,
You see, Bito,
it's equally important.
I think number one is that my friend is handling the issue of the doctors very carelessly, because we are in the midst of a pandemic. The doctor is a frontline responder. You cannot equate a first-line responder with a pandemic to any other profession, because there is no lawyer that is going to be in that emergency room. There is no engineer that is going to be in that emergency room. When my friend here needs oxygen, it is going to be the doctor. So in the midst of a pandemic, then the importance of a doctor becomes first priority, because this is the guy who is expected to deal with this pandemic. So you cannot equate the value of a doctor in the midst of a pandemic like any other profession. And then number two, when you are equating BBI to general election, you are simply telling us that we can lap our constitution the way we want. Where is BBI provided for in a constitution? BBI is just an agreement between two people in a certain room called Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga. That they now want to force it on the throat of Kenyans. A general election, on the other hand, is provided for in the constitution. It is well articulated when we should have it. So therefore, when you are telling me, today, we are talking about, he has said that the reason why the economy is going down, it is because of the pandemic. Then, if the pandemic is the cause organism for our economy to go down, what should be the priority that this country should address? Because the economy is far much important than BBI. The economy of a nation is what keeps a nation afloat. And therefore, we should be able to work and see that we bring back our economy, we deal with this pandemic, and we ensure that as we bring other things, unnecessary things, because I keep on saying BBI is not necessity. It's not a necessity. You remember when we were studying in school, there was what we call primary needs and secondary needs.
Basic needs.
BBI is a purely a secondary need for the rights of this country. I will tell you that without blinking my eyes, because I will tell you, tell me, what is it that we cannot do today without BBI? Tell me, what is it that is contained in BBI that we cannot do, other than creating new possessions? Everything else in BBI can be done without it. This government, BITOC, does not require BBI to give tax holidays, as they are saying. And you know, when you talk about tax holidays, I find this nation so dishonest. Have you seen the Minister for Finance saying that we must blaze ourselves for a tough 2021? Let me tell you, BITOC, according to the National Bureau of Statistics, the most productive age of this country is the age of 23 to the age of 39. They are the biggest taxpayers in this republic. Forget the multinationals that are owned by a few people. That is the most productive age. We are saying we are going to give the youths a tax holiday of how many years?
7
9
is it
years.
4? Or I don't know.
Is it 7 or
Should
9
be 7.
years?
Anyway, there's a question from Mpuru. There's someone who is asking here, the doctors who are working at the front line. We've said, I mean, they should be working like any other. Even soldiers are dying at war. Or these other. What would happen if we sent soldiers to war without weapons, without bundukis?
First of all, let me put it this way. I'll answer that. But I would like to tell my big boss here that BBI has nothing to do with payment of doctors. Absolutely nothing. Go back to the reasons why we need BBI. BBI has absolutely nothing to do.
The reasons are as fake as the document itself.
No, there is no reason. I mean, where does BBI and doctors come in?
Vitu mbili tofauti.
Because we had the money estimates from the IEBC. It was an estimate, not the budget, that the IEBC said we'll spend this amount of money. It has nothing to do with payment of doctors' salaries. Number two,
let him finish.
The issue of jeshi kwenda bila bunduki watapigwa. So ndio tunasema zile
watatandikwa. Wataambiwa NOPEU.
Ndio tunasema zile PPEs ambazo ziko under investigation. Counties zipatiwe, wapatie madaktari. Then we discuss about the rest as wakiwa well equipped.
So tutapeana lini hizo vitu?
Sasa unajua hiyo ni policy of government ambayo wewe mwenyewe huwezi atuko kwa
BITOC. I'm listening to him and you cannot have your cake and eat it, my brother. Let me tell you. The authority and the agency under which this government is taking the issue of BBI, be it taking signatures, be it doing rounding, why is it not? You'll be surprised. Mutahi Kagwe, exactly today is 1 month, 3 weeks from the last time he stood at Afia House and gave directions that those PPEs must be taken to the hospitals and to the counties. We are 1 month, we are heading to 2 months. If we wind up this week, it will be 2 months from the first time Mutahi Kagwe issued a directive that those PPEs must be taken to hospitals. But this government is very quick to correct it. They are telling us in 1 week. They corrected 5 million signatures. And somebody from Chebi Desert received a booklet from BBI to sign for those whatever. What's stopping that government from using the same mechanism to get PPEs to Turkana? And then he argues that BBI has nothing to pay with, it has nothing to do with the payment of doctors. Unless you are not aware of the budgeting process in this republic. You tell me there is... Today, why are the doctors going to strike? They are not only striking because of the PPEs and the protective gears. There is also something called the corrective bargaining agreement between them and the government. I'll tell you, BITOC here without blinking, the money the government is supposed to pay to honor that CBA is less than what they want to use in BBI. So therefore, you cannot stand here and tell me that BBI and the money it will spend has nothing to do with the payment of doctors. You are very keen. I have seen the Senate committee. I have seen the Minister for Finance. I have seen Matiang'i, all of them meeting to discuss the budget of a possible referendum. Why can't you use the same agency to discuss the issue of doctors? Why can't you use the same agency to discuss the issue of PPEs? You know, that's my argument. Let me tell you. Great. I have not said that we should not do BBI. But the moment this government abdicates its responsibility to doctors and to Kenyans, we will start questioning what they have put as their priority. We are not saying that 14 billion can make a very big difference in the economy. Of course it cannot. But when the government shows its citizens that the most important thing to them is BBI, we shall still question that BBI, because even as you do BBI, can you kindly do what is needful for the local Wanjiko? The local Wanjiko wants to, if she gets out and goes to the next hospital, she will find drugs, she'll find a doctor, she will be attended. If you do that, will we have a problem with BBI? We will not. But the problem we are having with BBI, my friend, it is not that it is not important, but it is not the priority right now. But unfortunately, this government has made us to believe that the priority is the changing of a constitution. Will the changing of a constitution end a pandemic? Will the changing of a constitution pay doctors? Those are the questions we are asking. Because if this guy went 6 months without a salary, how will BBI settle his salary? He has left a family of 5 months with a 5-month-old baby and with a hospital bill. And the money is not paid. So when you are telling me BBI has nothing to do with paying of doctors, pay doctors first, then tells us we do not have a problem with doctors. We do not have a problem with the economy. Then you can do your BBI comfortably and we will not be objecting. But you cannot wake up in your light mind every morning as a president of the republic and all you are telling us is about a constitutional movement. That constitutional movement is all right. We don't have a problem with it. But that constitutional movement cannot be subjected into the, I mean, it cannot be made in the expense of a doctor who requires his salary and his PPEs. That's the problem we have with BBI. It is that it has become the center stage of conversation within government. The center stage should be taken by how are we going to eradicate this pandemic? How are we going to put our economy on a recovery trajectory? Those should be the center of discussion. It is not how we are going to make a position of a prime minister. How we go. I mean, I'll tell you, that document has some good things in it. But surely, my brother, can we, as we are doing that BBI, can we also not abscond duties that you swear to take care of on behalf of Kenyans? All
right. Talking about BBI, ODM, the star is BBI, ODM pushes for fresh amendments. Urut are discussing changes that are likely to be announced by Friday. ODM, wanasema at a full stop, so they are now pushing for new amendments. I think from the other amendments that are done. You're not a member of ODM, you're a member of NOPEU. Yes. What is the stand of NOPEU on BBI?
No, for us, first of all, I'll tell my boss that I don't answer for the government. Okay? I'm not a government operative or an employee of the government. I don't work in the Ministry of Health. I'm a Secretary General of a party that has its own opinions. So I don't answer on behalf of anyone. I give my personal opinion of saying that BBI is as equal importance as the general election, okay? If it is in the constitution or not. The constitution is not 10 commandments, okay? What was there in 2010 is not what is there today. There is technology today. Things keep on changing every now and then. So you need to swallow the pride. And you don't bring your frustrations to people who really are not, they're not important. So, on the issue of ODM, I don't know what they want to edit or what they want to add or remove from the document, because I have no idea of how they...
Kama kila siku tutafika hasa BBI version 17.
Imekuwa mingi zaidi. imekuwa mingi sana.
NOPEU pia unafaa mulete yenu mzee mnataka amendment.
Tuongeze ama tupunguze?
Hata muongeze ama mpunguze, mulete yenu ya Meru tuseme tunataka Miraa iwe constitutional
ndani ya katiba.
Yeah. So what is your stand on BBI as NOPEU?
We are in support of BBI.
Okay.
Full support of BBI. Yes.
Without reservations.
Without reservations. Yes.
What are some of the things that make NOPEU support BBI?
You see, NOPEU, as I told you, is basically based on the common, the ordinary raya. And we need to agree that this really BBI is talking much about the common raya, as well as women and youth. You've heard people talk about it. Muchendu has spoken about the tax havens. We have the issue of the PWDs and the BBI that have never been spoken about before. Those are many reasons why we sat down and decided to support the BBI. Yes.
Alright. So hizo ni mambo ya vijana, mambo ya wamama, ndio maana mna support BBI. So NOPEU supports BBI without any reservations for that reason.
Yes.
Alright, do you all think there is any amendments that needs to be done?
No.
Iende vile iko. Isonge.
Assist.
Muchendu. The amendments that are being introduced, ODM is now requesting for further amendments in the BBI report. And I understand last week it's reported that Ruto's and Uru's allies met at a secret meeting or the same with BBI. Now they are saying they want to introduce ODM. The outer of the BBI report is now saying they want amendments. What do you think they could be looking at? And are we going to have a referendum anytime soon?
I believe they want to reintroduce the issue of political parties picking up the members of IEBC. That is one of the things that they want returned in BBI. We will wait and see what kind of other amendments they want to do. But then, if ODM is talking about amending BBI, then it can only ascertain the sentiments by the deputy president that it is not late to do the good thing. Because if ODM, of all the people, it is ODM now that is saying that they want an amendment on that particular document. It is just crazy. It doesn't make sense. I mean, you tell us that the door is closed. You tell us that there cannot be any amendments. And yet you are the first person to say that you want an amendment. Then there's something I want to understand, and I think when you are doing the Katiba Fridays talk, we want to understand from the members of the panel that you have prepared a document. It has been taken to Wajiko, and you have asked for her signature. Why do you give a signature? You give a signature saying that I have read that document, I have understood it, and I support it. So what happens if we amend the Constitutional Amendment Bill 2020? Are we still going to use the same signatures that we have corrected, knowing that we will now have altered a document? Yeah, we will have altered a document. So what are we going to do? Do we go back to correct other signatures? Because if we say we use the same signatures they have corrected, then Wanjiko will have not signed for the right document. That's what I'm asking. Whether it is the DP who is asking for the amendment or it is the ODM, then if they do amendment of this document, I think legally they are required to come back and ask for signatures, because they will have altered the document that Wajiko may have read or not read in quotes. So I don't know how we are gonna go. That's why I'm telling you, this thing is not a necessity, surely. It is not a necessity. It is just a conversation to keep some politicians relevant in our government. It is nothing more. Some politicians are going BBI full throttle because they believe this is what will save their career as politicians. That's the truth. Other politicians are going full throttle because BBI comes with a floodgate of money coming with this BBI. The government, through the office of a certain woman here in Gigiri, will open the floodgate of national government money. Let me tell you, Kenyans have been taken for a ride. This is pure. We are being taken for a ride. The most important things to Kenyan do not matter to this.
Mpuru amesema kuna mambo ya vijana, kuna mambo ya wamama. Kwa nini unakataa Muchendu?
Acha nikwambie, whoever the politician from whichever cross divide, it is the, let me tell you.
Utaki vijana wapone? Ama wamama wapone?
Wapone nini? Wapone nini? Wapone nini? Let me tell you. Let me ask you.
Muchendu pende vijana.
Wacha nikwambie. Hii Kenya tuko na youth fund. Hii Kenya tuko na uwezo fund. Hii Kenya tuko na Women Enterprise Development Fund BITOC. Hii Kenya tuko na Equalization Fund. Hii Kenya tuko na cash transfer ya wazee, you know. We have all sort of finances BITOC. Can you tell us those particular parastatals, because those are government parastatals, what is it that they have done? I wish BITOC you'd have the honor of checking on the balance sheet of these particular parastatals. It would shock you. Why do you think that a piece of paper is gonna change? I told you, and I will repeat this until cows come home, you will never registrate good morals. You will never registrate good ideas of reading. Those will always come from individuals who are determined to make a change in this republic. That's the truth. There is no piece of paper that is going to work magic. If Mpuru here is a good man in Meru, it doesn't matter whether you change the constitution or you don't. It does not change his character as a person. And if his character as a person is to change the nature of this country and from where he comes from, that is what he's gonna focus on. We have enough laws in this country to help you BITOC or any other person who is willing to make a change in this country. Deliver it.
All right. Mpuru, what's your agenda?
I think the issue BBI really is one is oversubscribed. Because we have had people, most of us Kenyans, many people, even leaders, have not read the document. They you know, there's a BBI 1 and BBI 2 and 3.
And now we are heading to 4.
And now we are heading to 4.
So which one are you supporting? Because there are 3 BBI documents.
We are supporting the last one. Let's make education to our people, was that because it's a democratic right to either vote yes or no, without any intimidation or force. But we need to tell them the truth of what will benefit the common mwananchi on the document. And then it's absolutely up to the Raya to either vote in BBI or not. It's a democratic right, without hard feelings.
All right.
Yeah.